Hello people, welcome to another video on the channel, and today is a little bit of a late one, assuming the Forest vs Newcastle game was on Boxing Day, but listen, I ate masses and masses amount of turkey and I wanted to sleep it off, so yeah, don't attack me. But yeah, I do hope you all had a very, very Merry Christmas, and hopefully you have a very good New Year if you really celebrate that much. But yeah, without further ado, these are 5 players that impressed in Newcastle 1, Forest 3. So sit back, relax and enjoy. But make sure you like and subscribe. We have just hit 500 subscribers, so thank you for that. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Here's to 600. And yeah, let's go. The first player, it's obvious that we've got to talk about this one after the performance he put in. Morgan Gibbs-White. Playing him through the middle was absolutely unreal. And if we're going to achieve anything this season, playing him as a number 10 will be vital. Listen, on the wing, he did good. You know, I wouldn't say anything insane, not ripping up trees. However, he was very good, very solid. This season, maybe not to his high standards of last season. However, as a number 10, he was fantastic. Very unlucky not to get an assist or anything, but he was by far, I would say, the best player on the pitch, even including Chris Wood, who bagged the hat-trick. Like, 4 key passes in against Newcastle, 3 successful dribbles, won the 12 duels. He was just all round fantastic, and he looks like a top player. Like we've had a season of him now, and he's already unreal. I'm so happy that we've got him on such a long-term contract, because yeah, there is going to be some clubs sniffing around him. But yeah, if we're going to play him as a number 10, then I'm very happy about that, because honestly, if you can maintain that form going into the Man United game and throughout the rest of the season, we've definitely got a top-notch player. The next player, I couldn't have done a players that impressed list without having this player on here. Chris Wood. He was absolutely unbelievable. Fantastic. Like, especially, it was the second goal where he gets the ball, he sends Darren Burns to the shops to get his meal deal. It was such a beautiful finish. Dinks it over Dubravka. It was a top finish. And just his overall play was so much better. Listen, under Cooper, it was used as like almost a target man, but like if we weren't lumping crosses into the box, it wasn't really working. Like the Sheffield United game, it worked, but that's really the only game this season so far that I can think of under Cooper that, you know, Chris Wood worked well. But he just works so well. His body is turning. Like, we saw a lot more than just not heading it in and tapping it in. Like, his awareness it just felt so much better than what we'd seen so far, and he was fantastic. You know, in terms of his duels, he won 5 of his duels. He was absolutely brilliant, and I'm so happy that we're seeing this side of Chris Wood, because he cost a pretty penny, 15 million quid, and we're finally beginning to see, you know, a good side of him. 4 goals and 1 assist in 2 games, absolutely brilliant. And I'm hoping with this form, you know, Taiwo's going to have to fight to get his place back. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I do think Taiwo can do this role reasonably well as Chris Wood, but he's going to have to fight to get his place in the starting 11 back. And it begs the question, do we actually need to sign a striker in January? Because with Taiwo coming back to fitness and Chris Wood being on this rich vein of form, you know, do we actually need to sign a striker? Because that was the main thing that, you know, everyone was saying, we need to get a striker. You know, we can't cope without Taiwo. And I think if Taiwo was still fit, I do think Cooper would still be in the job right now. So it's one of those. But yeah, hopefully Wood can continue this form. And just honestly, I'm so happy for him, because listen, I've openly criticised him. You know, he wasn't playing great, but listen, when we played to his strengths, he did well. And we're doing that a lot more, and it's working. Player number 3, this might be a little bit of a wild card. I've gone with Ibrahim Sangare. I just think in possession he was absolutely brilliant, and I think if we can get that side of him like most game weeks, then he's definitely going to live up to the £35 million price tag. People seem to forget he was linked with Bayern Munich. If you are linked with Bayern Munich, you're not a bad player. And I'm so happy that he is playing well. So we've got a lot of options in midfield. So it was obviously going to be difficult coming to a new league as well, new area, you know, new culture. Everything it's going to take some while to adapt. And I think people expect him, because we paid 35 million, to go bang, like he's going to be the best player that's ever played for the club, etc, etc. And it was going to take some time to adapt. Now listen, it wasn't like a 10 out of 10 performance or anything like that, but The fundamentals just seemed so much better. In possession, fantastic. 82% pass accuracy and 5 passes into the final third, so it wasn't just sideways and backwards passes. He was getting the ball into the final third, and it was just a much more tidy and complete performance from him, which is something that we've not really seen so far. But honestly, it's a good start. It's a good base performance for hopefully him to build on, build some confidence, and hopefully live up to that £35 million. Because don't get me wrong, I think given time, I think we would have got a good performance under Cooper, but it's definitely sped up the performance, and he's had some like illness issues, and he's come back and he's doing. He did very, very well. Only played 70 minutes, but still, it was definitely his best performance so far. Number 4. It goes, without saying, Anthony Elanga. I think he made one mistake in the Newcastle game, is where he didn't square one. He tried to go for glory, had a shot where I think he played. I'm not sure who it was to. We would have scored another goal. However, he bagged 2 assists, made up for his mistake squaring it to Wood. It was a fantastic cross in such a tight gap of space. Pulled it across. Chris Wood for the goal. Also scored against Bournemouth. It was an overall very, very good showing from him. Had 5 shots as well, two successful dribbles, and now that gives him 9 goal contributions. Now the big hoo-ha was, will he be able to replace Johnson? Because he was signed long before, about a month before Johnson was actually sold. So people have, maybe said Hudson-Odoi is the replacement for Johnson. But in terms of his attributes, his pace, that ball across goal, which got us so many goals and opportunities last season with Brennan Johnson. There's so many similarities that we're seeing from Elanga that Johnson showed. Now, already he's got more assists than Johnson did last season. 9 goal contributions. Johnson got 8 goals and 3 assists last season. For 15 million, there was a lot of talk about the price tag. So far, I think he's doing a very, very adequate job of living up to the expectation. Player number 5, a little bit of a surprising one, Gonzalo Montiel. Now listen, I'm going to hold my hands up, and when I saw the team sheet, my first reaction was, what is he doing here? I think that's a valid reaction when he's played about 2 games, and he had an absolute ross in the Carabao Cup against Burnley. So, I think that was a valid reaction, but defensively, he was so good. Listen, I think Nico Williams put in a very good shift and has been playing very well recently. However, defensively, especially if we're going to play with the back 4, we need Montiel. We need a very defensive, solid. And now we're looking at Serge Aurier, who's played in the Champions League numerous times, and he's in a situation where he's fighting for his place. Nuno said he likes a smaller squad, so players are going to leave in January. So he's in a position of concern, really, for his spot in the starting 11. He won 100% of all of his tackles against Newcastle. Won 5 duels. He was just defensively so solid, so sound. Going forwards as well, he was not too shabby at all. But defensively especially, was absolutely fantastic. Listen, he was very much out of favour under Cooper, but under Nuno, if he maintains this level of defensive, especially performance, listen, we have a very, very adequate player in that right back slot, and we could have some very much healthy competition. But thank you all for watching this video. That is 5 players that impressed in Newcastle 1, Nottingham Forest 3. Yes, once again, massive thank you for 500 subscribers. It is greatly appreciated. It was my goal going into this year. I wanted to get about 500 subs by the end of the year, so we've done that, which is made me very happy. So yeah, thank you for the late Christmas present. But yeah, I will be live tomorrow when you're seeing this for the Bristol City versus Birmingham City game. So yeah, feel free to tune into that. But yes, make sure you smash a like, subscribe if you are in fact new. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Let's try and get to 600 as soon as possible, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.